I understand you met with Judge Amy Coney Barrett today. Tell us about that and where you are on that process. Our new polling suggests that people are okay in the polls to say, go ahead and confirm her.
Well, Brett, we didn't meet in person. We spoke by phone, which is just another reminder of how the pandemic has upended so much. We are just now 27 days from a presidential election where more than half the states are already voting. There is no precedent for the Senate considering a nominee for the Supreme Court this close to an election where voting's already started. I talked with Judge Barrett about some of her writings, some of her opinions, some law review articles, and I asked her questions about her judicial philosophy, about how being a former clerk and a follower of Justice Scalia's view of textualism and originalism, how that would actually impact real Americans' lives. I spoke earlier today with a Delawarean, Carrie from Middletown, who owns a small business, and she and her daughter have pre-existing conditions. She's anxious about the future of the Affordable Care Act. As you know, that's on the docket for the Supreme Court a week after the election. And I asked Judge Barrett whether she stood by previous comments she's made criticizing Chief Justice Roberts for upholding the constitutionality of the Affordable Care Act. If the court strikes down the ACA, that'll take away protections from half of all Americans. And that's something that Judge Barrett wouldn't speak to specifically, but I really do think is on the docket.
So was there anything that, set off alarm bells for you? I mean, you and I have discussed the ACA before and how different this case is that's before the court now than the one that was an overall look at it with Justice Roberts. But in terms of the other things that you said, were alarming, what were those?
Well, Judge Barrett wouldn't make any specific comments about severability and how she would apply that in this case. But what I was also pressing her on was her view of precedent. Whether or not the court should overturn long-settled cases that we've come to rely on that are critical in areas like voting rights or labor rights or reproductive rights or LGBTQ rights. She wouldn't make any specific commitments, but I did press her on her view, repeatedly stated that we should be willing to overturn long-settled cases.